In the 1970s, a young doctor named Makoto Suzuki arrived in Okinawa to help build the island's first hospital. What he found there changed the next 50 years of his life. People in Okinawa weren't just living past 100. They were reaching that age healthier than anyone expected. Suzuki could hardly believe it, so he went to see for himself. When he met his first centenarian, he examined them carefully. He spoke with the family, reviewed the medical history, and even checked the official birth records. Everything was true. This person was over 100 years old and still remarkably healthy. That moment began a study that would last more than 50 years. At first, it seemed easy to explain. Maybe it was simply genetics. Maybe Okinawans had won the biological lottery. But Suzuki eventually reached a very different conclusion. Genes matter, but they don't tell the whole story. The way we live also influences how those genes are expressed, which means our daily habits shape far more of our future than most people realize. What Suzuki found wasn't a secret diet or an extreme routine. It was a way of living. The habits that helped Okinawans stay healthy into their 90s and beyond were so ordinary that most of them didn't even think of them as habits. There were no meditation apps, no complicated biohacks, and no obsession with optimization. Just simple routines, repeated for decades. Today, I'd like to share 6 of them. This is one of Okinawa's oldest traditions, and it often begins in childhood. Originally, moai was a way for neighbors to support one another financially during difficult times. Over the years, it became something much bigger, a lifelong circle of friendship. People meet regularly to talk, share meals, offer advice, and help one another whenever life becomes difficult. Some of these groups have stayed together for more than 90 years. It's easy to think that living a long life depends mostly on eating well or staying physically active. Those things matter, but they aren't the whole story. Human beings also need to feel connected. We need people who know our names, notice when we're missing, celebrate our victories, and help carry our burdens. One of the longest studies ever conducted on happiness reached a remarkably simple conclusion. Close relationships are one of the strongest predictors of a long and healthy life, even more than wealth, social status, or intelligence. Support also makes healthy habits easier to keep because we're far more likely to show up when we're not doing it alone. Maybe that's one of Okinawa's greatest secrets. They didn't wait until old age to build a support system. They spent a lifetime taking care of one. Seijaku is a Japanese word often translated as serenity, but it describes something much deeper. It's the kind of calm that stays with you while life is happening. Your schedule can be busy, problems can appear, and things can go wrong, yet you still keep a quiet place inside yourself. Many of us wait for peace to arrive. We tell ourselves life will finally slow down after this project, after this problem, or after this difficult season, but life keeps moving. One challenge gives way to another, and that's simply part of being alive. Seijaku invites us to stop waiting for the perfect moment and begin building calm in the middle of ordinary life. It grows every time we accept what we can't control and give our attention to what we can. That's one of the reasons Okinawan centenarians age so well. Many of them lived through war, poverty, and personal loss. Their lives were never free from hardship, but they learned something even more valuable. They learned how to stay steady while life kept changing around them. And that quiet steadiness becomes one of the greatest strengths we can carry into old age. Nuchi Gusui is an Okinawan expression that means food is medicine. It's the simple understanding that what you eat every day quietly shapes how you feel, how much energy you have, and how well your body serves you over time. That is why Okinawans have always valued simple meals made with fresh, seasonal, and nourishing ingredients. They understood that good food is one of the quiet foundations of a long life. Decades of research have only reinforced that wisdom. A diet based on real food helps protect the body, lowers the risk of chronic disease, and gives us the strength to stay active as we grow older. The way they eat matters just as much. Meals are a natural pause in the day. People sit down, slow down, enjoy the company around them, and give their full attention to the food in front of them. Eating with presence helps the body recognize fullness, improves digestion, and turns an ordinary meal into a daily act of care. The way we eat today quietly becomes the health we carry tomorrow. That's the wisdom behind Nuchi Gusui. The Japanese word ogoku simply means to move, and that simple idea is part of the reason so many Okinawans stay strong for so long. Movement is woven into the rhythm of the day, so the body keeps working from morning to night without needing a special time set aside for it. You can see this inside a traditional Okinawan home. With very little furniture, people spend much of the day sitting on the floor and standing up again. Researchers studying Okinawa's centenarians noticed something remarkable. One 104-year-old woman sat down and stood up about 30 times in a single day without ever calling it exercise. It was simply part of the way she lived, and her environment naturally kept her body active. The real secret is building a life that naturally keeps you moving. When walking, carrying things, and climbing stairs become part of your routine, your body stays active without much effort. That quiet consistency is one of the reasons so many Okinawans remain strong as they grow older. Soji means cleaning, but in Japan it also carries the idea of caring for the place where you live. In Zen monasteries, everyone stops at the same time each day to clean in silence. They sweep the floors, wipe the surfaces, and care for the garden with their full attention. The goal isn't to finish as quickly as possible. The practice is giving your full attention to the simple task in front of you. A Zen teacher once explained it with a simple example. You can wash the dishes while thinking about everything else you still have to do. Or you can simply wash the dishes. The task is exactly the same, but your experience is completely different. One fills the mind with hurry. The other creates a few quiet minutes in the middle of the day. Soji reminds us that ordinary tasks don't have to be something we rush through. They can become small moments of presence. And when those moments are repeated day after day, they slowly change the way we move through life. Nankuru Naisa is an old Okinawan expression that is often translated as, "With time, everything will work out." But the idea goes deeper than simple optimism. It carries the belief that when you keep doing your best and continue moving forward, time has a way of bringing things into place. That way of thinking changes how you face difficult moments. Instead of expecting immediate answers, You learn to give life the time it needs. Some problems can't be solved in a day. Some wounds heal slowly. Some seasons simply have to be lived before they can be understood. People who reach old age with peace of mind often share this patience. They don't expect life to be easy, and they don't expect every problem to disappear overnight. They trust that the way they live each day quietly shapes the way they'll grow older. Maybe that's one of Okinawa's greatest lessons. We don't have to control everything. We only have to keep taking the next step. Dr. Suzuki, now in his 80s, is still in Okinawa. He's still studying the same people he first met back in 1975. After 50 years of research, his conclusion is surprisingly simple. The people who reach 100 with clear minds and strong bodies aren't following a secret formula. They simply built lives filled with small habits that supported their health every single day. Most of them would never say they're practicing slow living. They're simply living the way they've always lived. They wake up, spend time with friends, move their bodies, eat real food, care for their homes, and trust that tomorrow will come in its own time.